Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today on the Real Estate Podcast. I am Todd Sumney, the Chief Industry Officer for HomeSmart.
And I'm Rich LaRue, Vice President of Corporate Brokerages for the Western Region for HomeSmart and the designated broker in Phoenix.
And today we have a very special guest for all of you, Michael Zobeck, who is with Let Chime. And Michael, thank you for joining us today. Do you want to tell us a little bit about you real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Well, as Todd said, my name's Michael. I'm the founder of letchime.com. And the goal with our business is to help agents get more out of their CRM. We find that when agents are just signing up with CRMs, using them, there's some gaps that are there where they don't get as much as they should have, even high-level users. So we're here to help bridge that gap and help every agent get more out of their CRM.
Well, that sets up today's title. The title of today's episode is actually how to easily use a CRM to drive leads. And Rich and I, we have done many of our podcasts together where we're talking about, engagement and sphere of influence and database marketing. And we kind of have that 4-step simple little process that we talk about, which is build, expand, engage, and harvest. If an agent wants to grow their business, they need to build something to keep in touch with their past clients, their sphere of influence, leads, prospects, etc. And it could be just an Excel file, it could be a paper Rolodex, it could be their phone, or it could be something really powerful.
It could be a spiral binder. It's just, you got to capture the information somewhere.
It
right?
could. But I was doing an interview last week with an agent in Atlanta who said, I wish, though I would have known how unruly that was going to get. And I wish I would have invested in a CRM from day one.
Yeah.
Because a CRM takes it to the next level and it organizes all that. And from then, you built it, now you expand it. You're adding leads into it. You're adding new names. So you go from 500 people to 2,000 people in a database or into a sphere, right?
Yeah.
You're expanding it. So build, expand, then you got to engage it. You got to connect with it, communicate to it, drive leads, share information, etc.
I think that's the disconnect. But Michael has his ideas on the disconnect and the gap for that. So I'm excited to hear what he has to say and how to fill that void.
Yep. And if you do those things, then you're going to harvest it, right? That's the 4-step: build, expand, engage, harvest. So, one of the breakdowns is, so what is a CRM?
Yeah,
does anyone even know what the letters stand for?
Client relationship manager or customer relationship manager, depending on what business you're in. But now we just refer to it as a CRM, right? And give it no thought. So
then from there it goes to, okay, so why is a CRM so hard for agents to use? Is my question for Michael, and I know that he is doing a lot to solve that.
And I think the important thing to remember about a CRM is the middle letter, the R, the relationship. That's what we're trying to do here, is to build a relationship with our clients or our prospects so that we have a shot at the business.
So Michael, take it away. I mean, why is a CRM often so difficult for agents to use?
I think it comes down to 3 different things. And you guys just reminded me of a story first of, I was talking to an agent. I was going to help her clean up her database. It's about a year ago, get into a different CRM, help with some automations. She had about 22,000 people in her database. She wanted me to go through it. Hasn't touched it in years, of course. Right. I went through it. I told her she probably had about 800 real contacts in there, which she did not like that. And we didn't talk after that, but just trying to tell her the truth. And it's because she was buying lists through like Remine and all these databases, all these different sources, just sticking it to her CRM. That's not how you build a database, just getting a name, phone number. You can just go buy those. So the CRM is here to help agents keep your list organized, categorize it so that you can communicate to those people the right way. So you can send the right communication to, and I usually divvy up a database into 2 different parts. You have your leads, and then I also have what I consider a database, which is your sphere of influence, your network, your past clients, because I'm going to communicate to my past clients and that I have a deeper relationship with. differently than I am going to do that with leads. So
But you're using that relationship word, the R word. It's not just a list. You can buy a list anywhere. You can buy, names. You're talking about actually the relationship portion, which is what really drives the engagement and the activity, right?
yep, absolutely. And agents, a lot of times, like I look at three different things, or there's three different causes primarily for agents not using a CRM or having 22,000 people and you really only have a couple hundred. And a lot of times they don't even know what the CRM is for their business. They see all these features, but they don't know what the benefit is for their business. So they don't really even know. And that's not a CRM problem. That's an education problem, a marketing problem. And it's really not running their own business, unfortunately. And we see that a lot. And that's super common. They don't know what to even get started and where to use a CRM.
All right, so I'll bite. What's it for? What's a CRM for, Michael?
At a very, high level, you keep organized, you get your list organized,
Yep.
and then when it's organized, you can send the right communication to the right leads. So it doesn't matter if you know 10,000 people and they actually know you. If you're not communicating with those people, that's where, and I think every agent that's listening to this, watching this, has had it. Your neighbor, friend, or family used another agent, not you. And it's because they forgot or they didn't remember. And it's just because you weren't reaching out to them and communicating with them the right way.
Right.
Yeah, there's that statistic we always talk about 92% of consumers love their agent and would use them again, refer them to a friend, and then that number dramatically drops who actually does use their realtor 2 times in a row. And a CRM is one great way to do that. But real quick, one word that always comes out in a conversation that I have with you, Michael, is easy. It's in my conversations with you, you always mention about how what you're doing with Let Chime is really helping agents execute a tactic like this easily. And I think you have several ways that you help agents do that. Can you dig into that a little bit about what makes it so, easy for agents to use Let Chime with what you're doing?
Yeah. So my company, we're more consultant, CRM consultants, and really marketing agency. Except we only use Chime CRM, which is an all-in-one platform. That's the only one we use. We used to build WordPress sites, custom sites, work in KV Core, Sync, Boomtown, Follow Up Boss. Really, you can't name a platform we haven't worked in. So we simplified our business just to Chime. We feel for several reasons it's the best CRM. And honestly, it's not a CRM, it's a marketing, it's an all-in-one CRM marketing platform, IDX, websites, landing pages, tons and tons and tons of features. Right. So we help agents not get shiny object syndrome, which is the second reason CRMs don't work. Typically, you hop in, there's too many features. You don't know where to go. You start looking down this nice little tool and you don't focus on the 10% of the features that will actually get 90% of the results. It's not even 80-20 with the CRM. There's 10% of things that you can use in a good CRM that will help your business double, triple, expand. So we help agents within Chime learn what to do, how to set it up. We categorize it 3 different ways. One is lead gen, which is the topic of the Zoom here, and I'll hop into. But lead gen, lead conversion, which we think Chime is head and shoulders above every other CRM on the market. When a lead comes in, helping them go from cold to sold. So moving them through the buying and selling process. So we have generation, conversion, and then retention, which is more for the database, your touch points, newsletters, postcards, or the relationship building aspects of a CRM and what you do on a daily basis. So that's how we categorize what agents should look for in a platform. And we think Chime hits, checks all the boxes and has some things that other platforms don't have. So first category is lead gen. Do you want me to hop into that?
Yeah, take it away.
Cool. So I will share my screen here. For those of you watching or just listening on audio, hop into the YouTube channel so you can see what we're doing here as well. But I'm just going to show quickly just some things that we teach agents to do in Chime. So 2 different types of lead gen. You have paid and organic. So paid lead gen, you're connecting realtor.com, Zillow, Google pay-per-click, Facebook. You're actually giving a platform money. I mean, you can't throw a rock and not hit somebody that doesn't do, real estate lead gen nowadays, tons and tons of sources. Right. You can integrate all those into Chime. Where a CRM comes in to play for agents are the organic, and really they're just tools. So the tools that a platform has to help an agent within how they market. There is not a platform out there that's just you push a button and it has killer marketing and advertising that's going to bring in 2 to 3 clients a month. I know we're all looking for that. It doesn't happen. So organic tools in a platform, or what an agent can use within their business and how they do their monthly marketing. So there's 5 different, I have 5 things written down that we can cover with a good marketing platform, which is the website that comes with it, your IDX feed, which is super important. And agents a lot of times will just use their IDX feed for 1 or 2 things, but you can creatively use it that will get you more views and more attention online, especially through social media. Open houses. Open houses are underutilized, and with how tight the industry is right now, is a great lead gen tool. So open house forms.
Right. Open houses right now are very timely. Great way to create listings.
Yep. So those are new leads. Your database and old leads are a great way to get new clients as well. So there's a tool in Chime where you can easily start conversations with cold leads, and then also your current listings, which isn't free or isn't pushing out a Facebook ad. I'll show you how easy it is in Chime. That is the actual cheapest lead that you could do, is a Facebook lead on an actual listing. Probably not nowadays. We used to get $1, $2 cost per leads when we were advertising actual listings. Probably a little bit higher right now, but that is the absolute cheapest leads you could get, and possibly both ends a transaction. Okay. So, yeah, do you have a?
No, keep going.
Oh, sorry, I thought you had a question. So Chime is an all-in-one CRM, meaning it's not just database holder where it's an Excel file in the cloud. No, it comes with tools to help you generate more leads. And first of all, it comes with a website. We think it has really clean looking websites, up to date. So it doesn't look like it's in, from 20 years ago, like some of the sites that are out there now. But this is one of the sites that we actually built for a HomeSmart franchise out in New Jersey. Very clean looking site. So first of all, your website. And we get this question all the time. Do I need a website? Agents ask us that constantly. I say, yes, you need it specifically for your IDX, which we'll hop into here in a second. But really, it's like, what are you using the site for? So really, an agent, you don't need your own website unless you've built a brand over the last few years, or you create your own content. WordPress is the #1 website builder in the world. It's a CMS, which is a content management system. So a lot of times agents think you need a website for your brand, but it's really just a house content. So if you're building your own content, have your own custom site. If not, you really just need a website that has lead gen landing pages on it and your IDX feed. So Chime comes with a lot of different landing pages that we actually build out for our clients.
Michael, explain lead gen landing pages.
Yeah, this is here. This is one here. So I've clicked on a home affordability calculator. Mm-hmm. So we have a mortgage calculator, and we also build out home affordability calculators, which is just a different spin on a mortgage calculator. It's just a different way it's just a way to be different with the same type tool. So a client essentially punches in their information here. So annual income, it's a little form, annual income, down payment, loan term they want, interest rate, and they can calculate the maximum amount that they can afford in a different area.
So the concept, Rich, from how I see it, is that you're training an agent to do some marketing, some sort of outbound marketing, whether it be an email, a social media post, a text, anything. And what they're doing is that the marketing is topical. So if the post or in social media is about affordability, hey, do you want to know, if you can afford a home, or what price points that you can afford, or something around the topic of affordability, when the customer clicks, then they're going to a page on your website that has content that is syncs up with that marketing that you did. So the marketing
That's
pulls
right.
them in,
Yeah.
and the landing
Yeah.
page. So you should have different landing pages about different topics on your website. Did I say that correctly, Michael?
Yeah, absolutely. They're hard to make if you don't know how to make them, which is where we talk about being easy. They're already done for you with Chime. This took me 8 seconds to actually make.
Oh, that's great.
And
that's about our attention span.
Well, and that's something
It is
I've heard you
nowadays,
say
yeah.
before. It's turnkey for the
Yeah.
agents. You've already built this. They just need to implement them. Is that right?
Yep, 100%. So and we'll talk about this here at the end. But with our partnerships, which we have a partnership with HomeSmart, we build these systems turnkey, where we actually create the follow-up plans. We give monthly marketing tips. We show you a home affordability calculator, how to actually use it, because it's a cool tool. But if you don't put it in your own marketing, it's not doing you any good. So as you said, you could easily go put this on social media, go throw it on Facebook, and you tell a little story that everyone is aware of. I get this, if you're the agent, you say, I get this question all the time. People ask me what their home is worth and what they can afford, telling a story. The market's all over the place, but I have a free tool on your website. If you're curious what you can actually afford, just hop on here and you can punch in your numbers and, see what you can afford. Obviously you'd want to clean that up, but you just tell it a story. People hop over. Maybe you don't get any hits the first time. It's about consistency. With organic marketing, it's about showing up and being consistent. And honestly, you could use this landing page here, this home affordability calculator. If you told a different story, you could use it every month in the year. You could use it 12 times. You just give a different story of what they're going to get from it. So, an organic post, you have the caption, the image, the CTA, the destination, which is what we're talking about here. But you easily could use this multiple times throughout the year just by telling a different story as your caption.
Michael, I think that's the biggest thing is the usability of the site and of Chime. The challenge that I've seen for years and years with the different platforms that are out there, and there's some great ones. And we'll have people comment on this, about what they think is maybe a better platform. Are there better platforms? I don't know. Maybe the best platform out there though is the one that you actually use, and so you can have one that has all these bells and whistles, but if you can't use the thing, or if you spend weeks and weeks setting it up so that you can use it, and you get out of the production cycle, how much does that really cost you in the long run, right? So we've got to be able to, as real estate professionals, we've got to be able to jump in, create it, use it, and get generating leads as quickly as possible. And I know that that's what your passion is as well, and that's why you founded Let Chime.
Yep. You just a lot of agents just need a little direction, and then they can see the patterns and take it from there. They just don't know how to go. They're good at going from 4 to 8, not from 0 to 1.
So you mentioned a couple different landing pages already pre-built. Do you have some other examples? One is an affordability calculator landing page. Maybe a couple other.
Mortgage calculator. This is actually our HomeSmart Arizona site. So same platform, just different looking site. This is a video that I've paused here. But we also have a home evaluation tool on here as well. Again, put it on social media. Curious what your home's worth. This will send them a ballpark figure, which doesn't matter because 90% of conversion is what happens after the lead comes in. It doesn't matter if this is accurate or not. It starts a conversation. So they put their information in. The agent captures it, which does go into the CRM, but then they can do their follow-up. We also have different guides on here. We have a buyer's guide, seller's guide. So we have all these different pages already built out, so agents don't have to build it themselves. We can give them ideas on how to plug it in, and they just need to take action, which is something we can't do for them.
Love that. I also know a lot of agents. I don't know if you have an example of this, so if you don't, it's okay. We can just talk through it. They'll also do landing pages for certain neighborhoods. People are searching for a particular neighborhood that they want to live in or a school district. And so when you send some outbound marketing, I was talking to an agent again in Atlanta last week, who he did a post targeting renters. And he said, if you want to, purchase a home for the same price you're paying in rent, here are 453 homes in this city, this area of Atlanta, happen to be called Buckhead.
Mm-hmm.
You want to live in Buckhead, here's 453 homes that are under $250,000. And
Wow.
and they were all on one landing page. So he would drive to that landing page.
Cool.
So am I
Yeah.
explaining that correctly, Michael? Agents can do this as well.
Yeah. And well, that's actually my second lead gen point that agents should try to do through their CRM. It's your IDX. So your IDX feed is just how MLS, how data populates on a website. Usually what we see, agents are just posting single listings, which is important, but just a listing, or they're automating a listing through through their CRM. They're automating random listings to their Facebook page or wherever. I feel like that's a missed opportunity. With a little creativity, you can actually tell a story just like that agent did, and use your listing feed, which is what people actually want to see, is pictures of houses, and throw it online to your email, your email list, or wherever you're wanting to put in front of traffic. So with Chime, we actually have a couple of different ways to do that. So under the campaign section here, there's a landing page builder. So one, if you're a listing agent, what is happening? Sorry, let me log out and log back in. We can edit, right? Here we go. Cool. So if you're a listing agent, Chime will automatically create a landing page for your listings that you can run ads to automatically. As you see, we have a lot of those pages here on this account. But Chime has a couple of things for local information. And if you're creating content, that's actually one of our content pillars we say to create around is local info, because the agents aren't just about real estate, it's about being a local expert. So Chime will automatically create these kind of local information pages. So it actually pulls in, the average sales price, median sales price, total listings in an area, gives like walkability score, which with this user here, it actually has a hard registration, which I don't recommend for most people. You can edit that feature or functionality here in Chime, but it has this nice featured area page that you can actually edit. And you could put a video. So if you create a video, this is Davenport, Florida. If you create a video about Davenport, now you have a place to go throw it along with and host that video, but along with listings. So that's area page number one. Number two is exactly what you said. We have these different IDX integrations. So one that's super popular right now is the price reduced. So like a price reduction page. So you can say, story again that you can create, just like that, what that agent said. You could say, interest rates should be coming down, which means competition's coming up, but there are deals on the market right now. If you want to see a list of homes below 400K in Davenport, Florida, click here. So same and similar way that he used it for rentals, you tell a different story, but with the same page, you could easily use it for a different function. So you can easily do that here in Chime and I won't go into the filters, but you could do rentals. You could do price points, bedrooms, 2-story, 1-story areas. You could easily create those pages. So this page is actually live. So if you went to this URL, it's literally took me 15 seconds to automatically create this page. So super, super simple to create a landing page if you have that use case for it. So glad you said that.
This looks so easy. It gets me excited. It really does.
Michael, without going
ready to get your license
too
back?
far down a rabbit hole here, you said, you can use the same page for multiple sources. You just tell a different story, which is awesome to be able to reuse content. Can you track where the leads are coming from? In other words, if you have 3 or 4 different stories out on social media driving to the same page, how do you know which one is working? Does that make sense?
Yes, there's a couple of different ways to do that. Just depends how you're putting that content out there. For advanced techie people, there's that Google Analytics that will actually track where it's coming from.
Okay.
If you're doing it on social media, what I suggest is making separate pages. So again, here in Chime, if I wanted to clone this, I could just copy this page, rename it,
Got it.
take 60 seconds, and then you know what post that's coming from and where it's actually.
Right. And like I said, without going too far down the rabbit hole, because that is some techie stuff. So it's doable. And
But
it's not that difficult. So that's awesome. Thanks.
But it looks very fast and easy. Just duplicate.
Yeah, for the non-tech
Sure,
people,
it's
you,
fast
you
and
click
easy
this
for
copy
Michael.
button.
He's a guru. He's the Chime guru. But no, I mean, seriously, all joking aside, it is easy. It's a good system, and you do a lot of teaching with it. So agents learn. That's great.
Absolutely.
All right,
You mentioned social media.
Keep on going.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, you mentioned social media, but I just wanted to show the social studio here with Chime. So instead of copying, pasting your listing, a URL, taking it to Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, you can actually connect all of these different profiles here: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Google My Business. I don't know why you'd have Twitter, but you can connect your Twitter if you're a big tweeter. But you can connect all your pages. You hit create post. So that landing page we just made, you can actually send that landing page out easily from here. Chime will create a little snippet that you can actually edit. There's a little AI writer here that'll help you write your content. If you want to change the preview image, you can do that as well. So you can send those landing pages really easily from Chime that you just created, push it out to all your social media pages, and even schedule it out. You could send your blog post. So if you're blogging about local content, I'm actually talked to an Arizona agent. They just hopped on with us in the corporate office, and they create things to do in Phoenix. It's their newsletter. So once a month, they send out 10 things to do in Phoenix, putting it on their website, and now they could easily send it out as a blog post. If you have all your data in one place, you could easily email it to your database as well. So you can easily send out your blog posts. And then if you do have a listing, so this is my number 5 bullet point of things to do in the CRM for lead gen: advertise listings. If you don't have listings, advertise somebody else's listing in your office, but don't just automate random listings that don't matter to your audience. That's why people get ignored online and through email, regardless if you're an agent or in another business. It's because you're posting content that people don't care about. There's a lot of automated tools that are out there. They're great, but they're going to get you ignored in the long run, because a lot of times it's just filler content to check the box of I did this task, and you're not giving your audience the content they want. So if you don't have a listing or an open house, advertise in other agents. Just choose for your audience, choose a good looking listing and why you like it, tell a story, and then link to it. And this is another way to advertise listings in the office, but they actually go to your website. You capture the leads, and they're not flowing through, the MLS or wherever else they're supposed to go. So you can easily create the landing pages, IDX pages, local info, advertise your listing. It's connected into the social hub here, and you can automate it or schedule it out.
So for those that are listening and not following on YouTube, we've talked website. We're talking about IDX feed, landing pages that both do topical items as well as landing pages with IDX. You've got Social Studio, which is number 4, 5 advertised listings, right? You also mentioned open houses.
Yep.
How do open houses tie into lead gen?
I mean, it's been a known, lead gen form for agents since real estate was around. There's the old way to do it, which you could go get a nice Canva form. You put it on a table there. People come in, they ignore it, or they scribble their name down so you can't read it. And then you get all the names. And usually what happens, let's say your open house is from Sunday 1 to 4. You come home, you got kids, your dogs are barking. You don't have time to follow up with these leads, get them to your CRM. So you wait till Monday. And we all know what happens on Mondays. I mean, usually leads don't get contacted from open houses immediately. The cool thing with Chime, and maybe we get into a future training, is what happens after the lead comes in, which is the most important part of a CRM, where you can automatically send a text, an email, create property drips, all from this capture form here. So in Chime, you can actually create a form, and here's the form. where it has a picture of the house, a QR code. Somebody scans this, it automatically captures their information, goes into your CRM, and triggers the response. So we have this form or the QR code. And I saw actually in the Chime Facebook group, an agent had their buyer's agent with them at an open house. She had this on her phone, and as people were walking in, all she said was, and put the phone in the person's the area, said, "Hey, we're checking in today with the QR code." So people automatically picked up their phone, checked in, and if you have an iPhone, and maybe Androids do it, but name, email, and phone number auto populate, so it's easy for them just to hit submit. So you don't have to, try to read somebody's scribbles, wait 24 hours. Everything is immediate here with Chime, captures them, and then you're communicating with them how you need to. So open houses are a great way to do it, but it needs to be automatic.
I love that.
That makes it super simple. In addition to that, we've got Realtor Safety Month coming up in September. I see this as an add-on as a safety feature. We don't need to advertise it as that, but Michael, that's really cool. Yep. You can automatically capture their information. And as they're walking through the house or they're walking into the house, they are willing to scan something.
Right.
Yeah, everyone knows what a QR code is nowadays.
Yep.
And, if you don't want to have your computer at the front, you could even download the QR code and put that on a flyer and say, check in here, and whatever the call to action is to get the property info emailed to you, check in here. And most people will do that.
So did I hear you correctly? I could set up a campaign or an action that is supposed to happen at 8 p.m. on Sunday night, or it's supposed to happen at 8 a.m. on Monday morning. And what happens is when people scan, they automatically go into the CR, the Let Chime system, and pretty much that preset action will just take place because those 20 names that go into that system, then it'll kick it off at 8 p.m. Is that what I heard you say?
Yeah. And that's it's called, Chime calls them smart plans. Some CRMs call them drips.
I like that name.
I like that name.
Yeah, smart plans. I thought you guys, I told them to name it that for you guys.
Yeah.
You can do so much more with smart plans than you can with just normal drips. So it has what I call retention-based touch points. So for your database, if you send Christmas cards, Christmas emails, birthday text and emails, you can actually automate those touch points through Chime. You can pull in the person's name. It still looks customized. You could even integrate a BombBomb video if you want, and put a BombBomb birthday, video, text, or whatever. So you can actually use those retention touch points. So for those agents that don't have leads, and we can talk about who Chime is for here at the end. But for the agent, you don't have leads coming in, so you don't need a lot of automations. You're more of a database and referral agent. Unless you just do a ton of manual work, you absolutely need a CRM to help do some of these tasks and reminders and some of the things for you that you still mean it, still heartfelt, but you're automating it. You're saving time. And we're actually helping an agent right now in Atlanta from the new company that just hopped on with HomeSmart. He does Christmas cards every year. So we're building a Christmas retention smart plan. We're uploading his Christmas list with all his addresses, the artwork for the postcard, and it's going to be automated, so he doesn't even have to go worry about doing that at the end of the year. It's going to go out, I believe, on the December 10th. Boom, it's out.
That is brilliant because, summertime, you're getting it done ahead of time, and you get busy in the fall. You get busy in the holiday season.
No, this works in. I look at this, and it started with the open house thing and the follow up from that. Right. But I see this as something that will follow up on my behalf in spite of me.
That's a good way to
Absolutely.
put it.
And in spite of my mood, and in spite of my Monday morning.
Right.
Right? It just, you set it up when you have the time to actually think about it, and you put that thought into it, and boom, it happens. And how beautiful is that when things happen? I mean, we're duplicating ourselves.
Yes.
By doing that. So
we all do our business planning
plan.
at the end of the year.
We do.
Todd does his business building end of the year webinar every year. So when everyone's motivated, end of the year, beginning of the year, all the holiday communication can go out. the extra if you do here in Dallas, I'm in Dallas. It's really popular for some reason around Thanksgiving. Every real estate office does a pie event. So they go to the home office, invite all your clients, and you give away pies. So if you're doing that every year, you have pie, as a tag in your database, which, database management's another training on another day, of course. But if you know who your person is that you need to send the right info to, you can automate it here with Chime. So this really gets into more of the conversion. So, we're talking lead gen. This is more on the conversion, which is why I absolutely love Chime. You absolutely could have, you can go hire a buyer's agent to call and text for you, a VA that doesn't quite understand the market, or you can have software do it for you for super, super cheap. You get to set it up. Or, as we've talked about, my company actually builds out smart plans for all of the HomeSmart offices that are on with our service Chime here. We actually build out the smart plans. So we actually have an open house smart plan in the CRMs. Agents have a couple options. All they need to do is hook up open house as the trigger. The smart plan's done. They can tweak it, or we already have one set up. They can just hit is live. And that's really, and I don't think I got into it, the third reason agents don't use CRMs. It's too robust. There's too many bells and whistles. You have to learn how to build follow-up plans and the software, and then what to say. So we've eliminated that. It's turnkey. We have the smart plans are done. We do the training, and then we also do ideas and how to use content, newsletters, and landing pages. So we try to make it as easy as possible to use this platform, because if you're not using it, another agent in your area is, or another CRM, and they're generating the leads, and we're here to make sure that it's these guys.
So just reading the recap again. Let's go back to the lead gen, because I took you off of lead gen for a minute. I think there's one more topic, direct mail in lead gen. Those of us that have been around a little bit longer than others in the industry, myself included, still often hear, even last week when I was traveling with agents, some agents were saying, direct mail still works, print marketing still works, and tried and true. So so lead gen, we had those that are taking notes: website, IDX feed, landing pages, social studio, advertised listings, open house form, QR codes, because you can put QR codes on your marketing, not only in open house marketing but also in your other lead gen. And then lastly, direct mail. So is there some lead gen capability with direct mail?
Yep. So Chime does have direct mail here, and this is where, if you're watching this on YouTube, it's one of the direct mail pieces here with a QR code that'll actually open up your What's My Home Worth page. People put in their information, and you capture it that way. So they have these different campaigns. So it does have one-off direct mail, or you can do a geo farming campaign as well. You can use the artwork that comes with Chime, upload your own. So you can actually use their templates, or if you want to use a smart plan and you want to automate the direct mail pieces, you can easily set up, just like we talked about with the Christmas card list. You could easily upload your artwork, and Chime will automate those, the sending for you. So it all comes back to, here's a tool to make your life easy. It's just how an agent does their own marketing. Tons of training to give ideas. Chime has a wonderful community of high-performing agents and high-level Chime users that gives ideas on how to use Chime. But it really comes down to what is the agent's strategy. So you can do direct mail. There's tons of ways to do it. You can easily automate it multiple ways in Chime. It's just how you're wanting to accomplish that.
Wow, that's powerful. When you're talking lead gen, there's two ways that you just mentioned a whole host of ways that you're doing lead gen for free. Every now and then someone will ask the question about, what about paid lead gen? Are there, I'm doing all this free marketing, but I also want to go out and I want to invest a little bit in some, maybe some expenditures. Are there any options for that?
Yep, tons. Chime has their own, as you see here under lead gen, Chime does their own campaigns: Facebook, Google. They do Bing ads as well, which Bing ads are actually super effective because not everybody does it. They do the Google local service ads. So if a consumer Googles like realtor near me or real estate agent near me, these profiles pop up and it's a click to call. So they do that. They have retargeting ads, which are super powerful. So Chime will actually retarget to all the people in your database that are in the CRM. It'll retarget to those people and everyone that's clicked on your website automatically for you. Of course, you could do that yourself. If you know how to put, Facebook pixel and all that stuff on your site, you could easily do that. If you don't know how to do it, Chime can help you do that as well. But there's integrations with Realtor.com, Zillow. I think, even what's super popular, we're helping a lot of agents right now, the pay at closing sources. So your op cities, home lights, offers, stuff like that, you can integrate that source. And then again, where the real power comes in is what happens after that is with the automations. So you can hook all that up to Chime here. One other thing just that I'd like to show is just creative ways to use this here. And so this is, bonus, whatever number we're at, bonus number X. So Chime has this cool little tool, leads to listings, buyer matching, whatever you want to call it. So essentially it'll take all the listings in your MLS. This agent is with Stellar MLS over in Florida. So it takes all of the different MLSs, so active listings. You can create these hot sheets. So a hot sheet is a saved filter of where you operate in your business. So if Tyler here is an investor, so we actually have a hot sheet here. When we had it, maybe we delete. Is it this one? Okay, yes. So it's a hot sheet for his investor clients. So it's Orlando properties that have been on the market 90 plus days, and then it has a certain price point to it. So we can actually come in here and do a couple of things. One, Chime will match the buyers that have that search criteria that have, put it in on your website or that you put in for them. It'll actually match those buyers, and you can essentially hop in here and text properties to your buyers. So it's great for your hot and your warm buyers. But that's where most agents stop. What you could also do is for your cold leads and your nurtures, so long-term leads, is pick a good-looking property, and then you can actually send this to different leads. So with Chime's filters, you could actually pick your nurture pipeline stage, and what the different filters, you can narrow down your search. You can select all the leads here and send this to your cold leads. And cold leads, as most people define it, are people that you talk to that something happened and they're ghosting you. So instead of just putting a generic drip on them, you could send listings to them and say, hey, Alina, I saw this property and thought of you. I know we lost touch. What are your thoughts? If you do the customer service aspect of real estate, not just automate everything, but show that even though you've lost touch, you're still on somebody's account, you will get more responses doing something like this versus just automating everything. And people be like, oh, thanks for sending it my way. Something XYZ changed, we'll circle back around later. But it starts real estate combos. And that's what a drip is for, right? Is to help automate real estate conversations and do it at scale. This is the way you can still automate it. It takes 2 minutes of manual effort just to find a good looking property and certain price points, send it to your cold leads, and you will have more people respond to that versus your newsletter where you send out, the 10th pie recipe of the year. You're sending this out.
Question for you though. I'm thinking about the details as you're explaining this, Michael.
Sure.
Where do all those properties come from?
This is from Stellar. So
No.
This is from
That's
the
not what I'm
MLS.
asking. You've got the entire MLS access tied to your Chime account, and so as an agent, I am putting in the criteria that these buyers want, and through Chime, it's finding these properties. Correct?
Yeah. So the lead put in search criteria, or the agent did?
Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. I am trying to lead you here a little bit, and so great. That's perfect. So that way we don't have to jump in and out of the MLS system because, and I see a lot of agents, as I'm filtering this information myself, I'm thinking, okay, a lot of agents are going, okay, well, we already have that with our MLS, whether it's through Stellar or Flex or whatever Paragon, whatever system they've got, there's some aspect of that in MLS already. But the question that I'm going to ask the members of our audience is, do you know how to use it? Are you using it? And if you're using Chime or any client relationship management system for that matter on a regular basis, you're actually digging in and using it, then you're staying in that familiar platform. And if while you're doing this in Chime, that familiar platform, you're just going to do it. That's what it comes down to, is you have to do it. You have to take the 2 minutes and make the match and use the automated text messaging or personalize it, like you said, Michael, because that makes a massive difference. And this is just really cool. I see this as very workable, where an agent, once set up, can do this and not put a lot of time into it. It just becomes, I started to say automatic. This part is not automatic, but it can become a routine. And as we do things as a routine, we flex those muscles, we build those muscles. If we spend 15 minutes a day working with our buyer leads like this, it'll produce results.
And we actually have a training, excuse me, on our letchime.com site for the agents that have signed up with us. It's actually a daily action checklist. So you say creating a habit. Most agents don't know with the CRM what to do on a daily basis. If you knew 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and at number 1 and 2, there's nothing there, you just go to 3. It's much easier to do your follow-up, to nurture your database. And that's, one of the things that we help teach is giving agents an idea and a framework to use this tool to help them in their business.
And that's something that I want to spend a little time on. We're kind of heading towards home here. Is now a good time to ask you, Michael, about all of the training that you have available? To drill down on that training, because I think that's really what sets you apart from a lot of the other platforms.
Yep. So again, we're not Chime. We're just consultants. So we're here to help agents get more, and we have chosen the Chime CRM to be our vehicle. So we're going to help agents get more out of their CRM, which is Chime. So agents that sign up with us, and for any of the HomeSmart agents, we have specific deal actually for our HomeSmart agents, and we have all sort of options for agents to sign up with Chime. We do get special pricing and features as well. But once an agent signs up, we do tons of stuff. One, we have a getting started training. So for new agents that want to learn Chime, we have a 30-day getting started training. I go a little bit more in depth on the features that are important to get started. So we have getting started training. We actually do live getting started trainings every Thursday right now at 2:00 Central. Those are recorded as well on our site. And then we do more in-depth trainings. I actually have a smart plan. It's called Smart Plan 201. I did 101 last month. So Smart Plan 201. So it's we went over how to set it up. We're going more on the automations and everything you can do in that. So we have everything for new agents that are just needing to learn Chime, agents that want to learn a little bit more. So if you have tons of leads coming in and a team, if you have leads coming in from lead sources and a team, you absolutely need Chime. There's no better software out there. We'll help you use it at a high level, set it up so you don't have to if you're a team leader or a broker. So we do those high-end trainings. And then we also have some other, we call them mini courses coming. So we're doing a 10 to 15 video mini course on smart plans and just follow up in general on lead importing and cleanup, because your data is only as good as you know where it's at. So we're trying to help agents clean up their database to get it into Chime. And then we're actually doing, which is the number one problem with agents of not knowing CRMs, they don't know what they need. They need to ask themselves specific questions for their own business to know what the CRM can even do for them. If you are on Excel, it doesn't even matter what CRM you go with. You don't even know what you need right now. So even the agents that are using Excel, they're like, I've never used a CRM in my life. You don't have a CRM problem. You got an education problem, and we're building a course for that as well to help, just give ideas on what the CRM can do and then how you implement it in your business. So that's our training aspect. And then we also do content. So for all of our HomeSmart clients, we actually, this is starting in August, we write blog posts. So we're actually putting those on all of the sites as well. So agents can actually use those for their social media and also for their newsletters. So we're actually creating that content, so blog posts and newsletters. And we also are coming up with weekly marketing ideas. So everything we went over today is great, but if it's not implemented and there's no consumer eyeballs on it, it doesn't matter. So we're giving agents marketing ideas on how to use, the landing page, such as the agent in Buckhead, talking about rentals below 250. Awesome idea. There's 100 different ways to spin that. So we're giving agents ideas on how to use the tool that they signed up for. So regardless if it's $100 a month, $400 a month, or $40, they're getting an ROI on it and getting it at a high level.
Excellent.
I think that's a key, differentiator in what he said is that he's not a CRM company. He's actually a consultant, and he's educating and teaching agents how to use a CRM, how to implement it, what to do, creating content for them, making it easy, making it turnkey, creating the landing pages, and then prompting them through the education, whether it be daily classes, weekly, periodic classes. That's hitting me very differently because that's approaching it from a different angle. It's what CRM he's using is really it doesn't matter. It's what you said earlier.
But it's a great CRM.
It is a great CRM.
But it comes with its own guru.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
You've got a genie in the box. You've got a genie at the end.
That's what it is.
And for that alone, Michael, I think you've got a home run here.
Yeah.
And so,
maybe we'll change the name to Chime Genie here soon.
I like that. But it is easy to use what he's shown here today.
Yeah.
And I think that is a differentiator about the actual software itself. The dashboard is appealing. Anyway. The ideas are running through my head about how an agent could engage with this, and just and implement over a couple week, a 12-week time period. Do it over time. But boy, what could they generate if they just took it a piece at a time, idea at a time.
That's the very first video I have on our Getting Started training, is telling agents, learn at your own pace. If you're like me, you have a Chrome extension that fast forwards videos to 2x speed so you can get through them faster. If that's how you learn, great. If you're an agent who wants to have the video playing and you're following along on the other screen and it's going to take you 30 days, do it. Most agents don't learn the foundational pieces and at least the features that are going to move the needle. They want to, do all the landing pages, direct mail, and like all the other things that are great, but you have to learn the foundational pieces first. But just learn at your own speed. 6 months from now, if you watch one video a day for 30 days, your business would be totally different 6 months from now, 12 months from now, because you're learning, foundational pieces, business pieces, and not just tech pieces.
Michael, I think that is one of the keys here, though, is every day. An agent is going to have to be consistent. We all have to be consistent when we're trying to learn something new, when we're trying to build our business. We have to, it's like going to the gym and just crushing it on leg day, right? And then you can't walk. 2 days after that, you can't walk for a week because you've overdone it. And then you don't do anything for a week because you're sore, but then you don't do anything for another week because, well, you just got out of the habit. If you do a little bit every single day, 6 months from now, you'll be much further down the road. I guess it's a classic tortoise and hare thing. I don't know. It is.
I can't tell you the last time I did leg day, though. It's been a while.
Well, yeah, I hear you.
That's great. What other, are there any other little items here, about, I don't know, miscellaneous little tools? Is there any AI, any other items maybe that we haven't talked about?
Or anything that you want to talk about?
If you get me talking Chime, we'll be here for 2 more hours. Like you said, we're not Chime. We use Chime as a vehicle, and there's a reason we chose it. What AI has been on the scene, January, Chat GPT exploded. They already have a blog writing assistant in here and a text AI writing assistant. Emails coming soon as well. Chime is on the forefront of technology. There is also an AI follow-up assistant. So if you're a single agent, you don't have time to follow up with all these leads, you have a big database, there's triggers you can set up in Chime to even have an AI bot, Chat GPT, essentially following up with your leads for you. I mean, how many opportunities have agents missed where, let's say you have 2,000 leads and someone comes back to your website, you don't have your CRM set up properly, your alerts, they're back looking at homes and you never talk to the people. Chime has all those alerts that you can set up, but there's also smart plans that can trigger and say, hey, lead, saw that you came back to the site, you're looking at XYZ property. Do you want to take a look? You could actually set that trigger up with a smart plan, or just have the AI bot anytime somebody comes back to your website after 45 days, of being gone, you can have the AI bot start the conversation. So it has tons and tons of tools. That conversion step of a CRM is my absolute favorite in Chime, because you can do automations. I say you can automate your lead communication, but also your lead organization, because you can have your leads go in and out of your pipe, stages. So if you have a hot lead and then they stop talking to you with Chime, you can, over time with the smart plan, you can move them into nurture. So they're not just clogging up your brain space and you're wondering, are these people still hot? You can, if they don't talk to you for 30 days, you automate them out. So, and that's probably more advanced, smart plan and automation training, but the automations in Chime are my favorite features. And then the ease of use, and that's the number one thing we hear from agents switching from other confusing CRMs, is how easy it is to pick it up. It's just more intuitive. If you do it alone, it can be confusing. I had an agent today, they did tell me Chime's too confusing, but he hasn't watched one onboarding video, attended one training, and it's been 30 days and he hasn't gotten one lead in here yet. You got to get your hands dirty to see how it works. Tip for anybody, if you're on another CRM, you're signing up, go sign up your spouse or your friend, or if you have, yourself with other info as a consumer, go see the consumer flow. So you know exactly what your leads are going through. Then you'll see what data pulls through. So at the very least, just go put yourself in there to see, both flows. And even just seeing how the data moves between the site to the CRM, just, exponentially shoots your learning curve up. Chime has tons of features. Like I said, I could keep going with it, but the automations, the follow-up, second to none.
Well, I think I want to ask our audience at this point, because I'm thinking, Todd, this would be a great webinar. I think we need to do a webinar, but I want to ask our audience, would you want to see a webinar? Would you attend a webinar for this? So leave us a comment wherever you can down below. If you're on YouTube or wherever you can on the podcast format that you're listening to this on. So just let us know. Give us some feedback. We'd love to do it. And I think, Michael, you'd love to do it too. So you certainly
I actually have a
so.
smart plan follow-up framework that you can set it up in any CRM and you know who's hot and who's not. So if someone's hot, you have manual eyeballs on them. If not, you automate it with follow-up. You just have to have the system and the framework for that.
So I don't mean to put you on the spot, but one of the things I love about some of the podcasts that I do listen to are the stories, the elements. You started with a story, which kind of led into this whole thing. And you're talking and you're working with agents every day. You work with new agents, you work with experienced power users. Do you have a story or two that maybe some agents that you've been working with recently that you could just walk through their experience? Because if I'm an agent in the audience and I'm not doing what we've talked about, I want to know, how do I get started? Where do I start? And also need a little encouragement about somebody else who maybe went through it and what their results have been. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but do you have a story or two you could?
Yes, you do.
Walk through?
You're
I am. I'm
You're
digging.
intentional.
I am
intentionally
all
putting
right,
them on the
there you
spot.
go.
We know you can handle it, Michael.
We have tons of stories because we do a lot of stuff for agents. My friend Tyler here, he's in Orlando. We actually manage his Chime account. He pays us to manage it. So if you're an agent or a team, tech's not your thing. And we actually do this for a lot of HomeSmart agents now. You want us to handle all the tech stuff, sending out communications, smart plans, we actually do that. So you can have Chime as a service and we can manage it for you. All the way to new agents. I had an agent today who actually out of New Jersey very detail oriented. So she had a list of 100 questions. Her and I hopped on Zoom today. She was frustrated and was just about to cancel. And a lot of it was just not understanding how the CRM worked. But we ran through the actual CRM portion is the people page here. And she was like, how do I do this, that, the other? Her first problem was her database wasn't organized. How can you send specific communication to someone you don't know where they're at? So that's her action item number one. She's cleaning up her database. Again, I do two different categories: leads, then I have my database, sphere of influence, network, past clients, your relationship. So she's cleaning that up. And then we went over how your lead flow. And I think we've touched on that, what you need to do on a daily basis. Just go down the list. If you know where to go, it's much easier just to go here, 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 and here. And the cool thing is if that stops working for you, you can go, switch it up. But at least you know somewhere where to start. So we actually talked for about an hour and a half today, which I don't normally do, but she she had a lot of questions, very passionate, so I wanted to help her out. So just goes to show, we want to help agents learn this. We do a lot of group, primarily group training. I do a monthly Q&A session so agents can hop in and ask any question that they want. But usually the success, if someone's not having success, it's a lack of understanding of how it works, and they just need to step back and do the basics. But we've had from teams to single users, we've had probably 15 to 20 franchises HomeSmart franchises working with us now as well, from different sizes, from 50 agents up to 1,500 out in California. That are working with us now. And a lot of them have switched from one of our biggest competitors because they needed a little bit more support for the agents. They wanted us to teach, be able to help teach the CRM to their agents, and honestly didn't want to pay for it. So, it was a kind of a win-win for them as well. So regardless if you're a single agent, new to CRMs, experienced user, want to up your automations and how the CRM works for you, team, broker, we can help you out and get you to the next right step. And that's something I say all the time, especially in follow-up training: get to the next right step. So you can't help a lead get to the next step for them if you don't talk to them. So help them get to the next step in your follow-up. Agents just need to do that as well. So just know where you're at, and wherever you're at is fine, but know where you're at and then get to the next step. And that's kind of the process that we lead people through.
So what is the very first step? Somebody that's listening right now, like is there a landing page, speaking of landing pages, for agents right now? Is there a letchime.com/HomeSmart, a phone number, an email, a sign-up page? Just an inquiry, education classes. I know you're doing education classes that show up on Real Smart Agent in the education calendar. Do you know when those days are off the top of your head?
I don't off the top of my head. I know I have another Chime one coming up soon.
Rachel, add those in at the end, and just do a voiceover real quick and add those training dates in at the end of the podcast here so the agents can jump on with that. But where does an agent go to engage with you?
Letchime.com is our website. And then for HomeSmart agents, letchime.com/HomeSmart, just to keep it simple. If you're a franchise agent, corporate agent, we do need to know where you're at so we can get you to the right spot. But our relationship with Chime and HomeSmart, we have a killer deal for you. There's software that's out there that's just a standalone CRM that is just as expensive as the deal that HomeSmart agents get with us and Chime. It doesn't come with an IDX, landing pages, all that stuff. Chime is a full all-in-one. It is an expensive software. It is hundreds and hundreds of dollars standalone. The cool thing being a HomeSmart agent, we have a great deal for you, and you can see that at letchime.com/home/HomeSmart. And then my email is hello@letchime.com. That goes straight to me. So if you want more information, want to hop on a demo, which is on the landing page as well, have questions about Chime, maybe you're on a team and you need a little bit more help with a CRM or want to get a Chime demo, you can reach me there, hello@letchime.com.
Excellent.
That's great. Well, we covered a lot of ground today. Thank you all for joining us here on this episode of the Real Estate Podcast. Michael Zobeck, Let Chime, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you,
My
Michael.
pleasure.
Yeah,
Had a
really
good time.
appreciate
Thanks for
it.
having
Good
me.
info. Wow.
It's great
A
info.
lot of info.
Actually gets me excited because everyone wants engagement and generation and activity, and my head is just spinning with ideas right now for everyone. So
Yeah, exactly.
just agents, listen to this, put it into action, and then go reap the rewards. And that's what the whole Real Estate Podcast is about. We want to help you grow your business, help you serve your clients better with that servant heart that Michael was talking about earlier. So Michael, again, thank you. Rich, thank you for...
Todd, thank you. And I want to thank our audience. And I have a favor to ask of our audience members. If you're still here with us, listening, watching, we would really appreciate it if you would press that like button. We have fragile egos, all of us. We need to see those likes, all right? Yes, it does something with the algorithm too. And you hear that from every a YouTube podcaster. You know, it's the algorithm. It's the algorithm. To heck with the algorithm. Todd and I need likes. All right, and I will be blatantly asking for them. So.
And we would love to have some feedback from you. What topics would you like us to discuss? What would you like us to dig into deeper? Maybe even something that we talked about today that you want us to do a follow-up podcast on.
Yeah.
Please let us know. There's an email address, therealestate@homesmart.com. So if you drop us an email, therealestate@homesmart.com, give us some
And it's
feedback.
the real state. There's not in there. There's not
That is
the real
correct.
estate or estate.
You got it right
real
there.
State.
TheRealState@homesmart.com. And that's an email address that the team monitors. And then a message can get to Rich and I.
Yep.
And to our producer, Rachel Fatzinger, who is doing a phenomenal job with the podcast. Thank you for all you do, Rachel. And thank you all for indulging us today on The Real Estate.
Michael, thank you again for joining us.
Yep, my pleasure. Thank you all.
We'll see you back on future episodes. Take care, everyone.
We'll see you soon.
Like what you're hearing on The Real Estate? Tell your friends about us. Tell them to check out all of our episodes on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and Spotify. And don't forget to send any topics you want us to tackle to therealestate@homesmart.com.